Hello and welcome back to the Honest Lab Horror Show, the show that we bring to you each and every Friday night. Why we do this on a Friday night? Cause Friday night is horror night. Hello and welcome back. Look who's back in the guest seat. Welcome back, Ted.
That's crack, boss.
What's
Just on my
happening?
way to a nice little holiday here.
I heard that's a nice old place out there in Derry, Maine.
Yeah,
Three
this
balloons.
one's just the one up. Oh, this is the one just up north. Do you know what I mean? It's just
the free Derry one.
yeah, just heading up there. Well, that's where I thought I was going, but apparently not.
Well, welcome back. I know we were away in Manchester there over the last few weeks for the Love of Horror. Awesome weekend that was.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's time to jump back into some reviews for a change. It's been a while.
Yeah, this is one we were looking forward to because you never really know what you're going to get with I feel
TV
like
show.
well, with something that something that's already been successful being converted into a series, and obviously this is a bit different. Do you know what I mean? Like this is meant to be the origins.
I'm not sure it's the origins. I was looking at a picture the other day that I seen on Facebook. I forgot to send it to you. It's showing the timelines of him being involved in the disasters in the town. So season one is just before part one, I'm pretty sure, if I remember rightly. Season two is before that, and then season three is the furthest one back. So I think season three might be the origin.
Oh, possibly. Like this is set in what, the 60s?
Give or take, I'd say, yeah.
I think they said 60. Was this 64? I think is what it says at the intro to it. So like that's prior to the first. Like that's prior to the original kind of. This is him coming around. I thought this might have been sort of the origins, but you could be right. Maybe season three goes back even further. This seemed like it was kind of the origins, though.
Yeah. I was quite I wasn't too hyped on it. I didn't think it was needed. So this one is set in 1962.
62, yeah, I knew it was 62 or
20,
64.
27 years before chapter one. So yeah, this is the first bit. The next bit's got it. Season two is going to be further back again, and season three will be even further back again.
Okay, right. So it's not an Origins then.
This one, no. So as far as I know, what I seen was this is linked to all the disasters. So you know the book they have where it's like the town happened, this happened. I think
Yeah,
the Mike has the book in the original TV miniseries.
yeah.
And it's like
Okay.
the fire explosion and stuff.
Yeah, I thought this was meant to be the original, but yeah, if it's 62, then yeah, it's not. There's going to
Sure,
be
it's
one
only,
before.
it's only, it's only 17 years, I think, before what it chapter one was.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Yeah. So it's not the original then. Obviously we're going to be discussing it, and there's going to be spoilers. So if anyone hasn't seen it yet, like obviously go off and watch
Yeah.
it before you listen to
Spoiler alert.
this. Yeah, like go off and watch it. Usually we don't bother doing that because we're reviewing older films, but yeah, if
This
you
is,
haven't
this is
seen
a weekly
this,
one now for the minute.
yeah, this is going to kind of be a weekly thing. The start was a bit strange. That's the like I didn't really know, like when it started, I didn't really know what if I was going to enjoy it or not. It's just kind of a bit all over the place. I was like,
It's
oh,
slow, wasn't it? Like
it's not even that it's slow. It's the
I was
way it
watching it.
started. I didn't really like. I was like, oh, what sort of story are they trying to tell here? Like,
Yeah, I was watching it with Zoe, and she was sitting here, and like we try and watch something together, whether it's a movie or TV show, right? So after about 20 minutes into the show, she looks at me and goes, "You can watch this without me. I'm not gonna stick with this." Right. And by the end of it, she turned around and was like, "No, you're not watching it without me now." She got glued into it. But the start was a bit broken and kind of all over the place in the cinema, the kid, in the car. I was like, what is going on
see,
here?
I thought the cinema bit was fine, and it kind of introduced you to the first
That
character,
character.
and then it introduces you to like the little girl who's like working in the cinema with her dad and stuff, and oh, he's had a hard childhood. They tell you all that, and you're like, okay, right, this is obviously going to be the main character. Which it's then you find out very quickly it's not the main character, but the car scene is a bit kind of all over the place. You're like, what the fuck's
It
going on
is.
here?
it was fucking mental. Like you knew when he got in that car, he was in trouble anyway because we've seen it in the film and in the show or in the two chapters.
Yeah, no, we like
Um,
you knew it wasn't going to be great, but like it was very Adam's family-esque. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah, a weird family
they
in a car
sort of, but like
singing.
they kind of had the girl sort of. I felt it
In
was
the,
kind of like she's Wednesday. Did I mean like that's kind of the vibe they went for without saying it.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but then yeah, like he gets into this car, they're driving him home, and
Well, they're not even driving him home. Where do you want to go? Anywhere but Derry.
yeah, anywhere but here, and they're like, okay, we'll take you to Pennsylvania. Like, first of all,
I don't think that's how that works, but
like if you pick up a kid and he goes, I want to go anywhere but here, you're not going to be like, yeah, I'll just drive you. The kid kind of should have got that. And I get, he's meant to be a kid and stuff, but he's a kid that, you know, wasn't stupid. He kind of should have recognized that. Um, and then, yeah, I don't know. It was kind of the monster that comes out. I think it looks quite good.
the Bert scene was nasty. I was
Yeah,
like,
but like,
what the fuck?
the thing looks okay, but it's just kind of like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, this is why I kind of thought it was an Origins because like, what the fuck's going on here? Is this him being born? Like, what the fuck is this?
There's
Because
a lot of online early reviews that they didn't like the baby creature thing, whatever it was.
mm,
Um, I didn't mind it. Like I've seen a lot of people giving out, oh, it's too CGI. But like you've come here watching it chapter 1 and 2, which was highly CGI, and you're
um,
complaining about a CGI baby.
I didn't
Sorry,
think it was that.
you don't get away with that. Do you know what I
I
mean? I
didn't.
thought it looked okay.
Yeah, I didn't think it looked that CGI. I thought it looked okay, but I think for me it
Bit
was kind of
weird.
no. Well, for me it was kind of what's the story here? Because obviously we know that the entity known as it plays off people's fears. Do you know what I mean? Like that's how this kind of works. So what the fuck was this kid's fear?
A little cherub baby demon thing.
No, but like the he wanted to get away from his family, so somebody picked him up. So his fear is that he's gone back to Derry, and I was like, okay, I get that bit, and then it's like, oh, and then it's just gonna be like this weird thing that kills him. That's, the fuck's going on here? Like, and at the start, I was a bit like, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this at all, like, because seems to be a bit of a mess. It doesn't seem to tie in with the story that we know of it.
Mm.
Um, and then yeah, obviously that's him gone, and you just get introduced to a new set of characters, basically.
Yeah, I was very very surprised with them killing him off. I was like, oh, they're obviously just gonna hold him there and torture him or something.
Yeah, and then just
Yeah,
it's
not
just
so
four
much.
months. It's just 4 months later, and we get introduced to the new set of characters. So obviously, we get introduced to what I
The three.
assume is, well, what I assume is going to be the female lead. Um, but
Yes,
the
I get.
female lead could be the other girl that we saw in the cinema. I think it's going to be
I
between the
think
two of them.
it's gonna be another loser club, really.
Yeah, I think it'll be sort of a loser club, but I think it could be either of them. I think either one of them could end up getting killed off by the end of this series. Don't really know which. But at the same time, I didn't expect so many people to get killed off in this. Whatever about the original kid, the amount of kids that are killed off in this year, like holy shit, they
It's
really
gas,
didn't
and you
like.
don't see it in horror all that often, and you're like, oh yeah, let's go.
Well, it's more that you're like, right, they're introducing us to the characters here, and then it's like, nope, one episode in, and you're not being introduced to characters because most of them are gone.
Yeah, I mean, like it's been like Andy Muschietti or Muschietti, whatever his name is, the director. He's got his vision that he wanted from the TV show or from the two movies.
Yeah,
So I'm not surprised that he's throwing a few curveballs in as it is.
yeah,
Um,
we're
but
we
obviously with no backstory other than I think speaking to Stephen King, um, they're kind of going Game of Thrones on it with what they think
yeah,
is
and
the right
listen,
way.
it does leave them a lot of space to be open, and they've left a lot of things that they can work with here. There's obviously kind of multiple stories going on in this first episode. That kid's missing. We see that the two boys that are meant to be his friends aren't actually really his friend. Like he claims they're his best friends. They don't really seem to think they are.
Yeah.
Um,
The taller lad's a dickhead as well.
yeah, well, I don't know that he is. I think he's just kind of like, well, we weren't that close to him. Like, well, why do you feel so bad? Did I mean like we didn't really know him? Did I mean?
No, but even when your one's upset and the other lad gives her his drink, why would you give her your drink? Like,
Yeah,
fuck
he's
off, you dickhead. It's
just
not yours.
I get I guess he's not great in it, but like at the same time, he's kind of like this.
His performance was very good though.
She's the weird girl. Do you know? And she's like, fuck are you giving her anything for? Like she's weird. Like, and then we obviously hear that her dad has died at the like
The pickle
pickle
factory.
factory. I was kind of like, what the hell story are they going to go with here? But it's just he just died at it. Like,
That story when she's telling her, like, she done that extremely well. Like, you could see like how good of a performance she put in telling that little monologue.
yeah, no, she did it really well. But I was like, what way are they going to go with this story? Because obviously from the films of it, we see only like it's never explicitly said, but
He's
like
connected to everything.
no, well, like it's never explicitly said in the films, but you kind of get the feeling that the Da is like not
Oh,
maybe
Bev's
not.
dad in the
Yeah, like he may
original.
not actually be sexually abusive, but it seems like he's on that spectrum of like
They they definitely made it out more in Andy Michelle's one.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like it was definitely coming across that he was kind of waiting for her to get older or whatever. So like I was kind of like, are they gonna go with that story again here? Which they didn't, which was good. But then the other story we have is the family that's going to be moving into Derry, which was like the two military guys moving in, and he's like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm just waiting for my family to get here. But they have their own story going on. Do you know what I mean? They're not
they
connected to this yet. They have their own
no,
thing
they
going on
are.
at the military base. Yeah, but they're at the military base. We know that at some point it's going to tie in, but
No,
at the
but they're already tied in. Did you not see when you looked at it? So you know the black guy that comes in.
yeah,
His name is Hanlon.
no, I know that. Like we know that because of their names and stuff, but
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah.
their
All right. Yeah. Sorry.
story
Sorry.
is
Sorry.
not tied in at all yet at the moment. At the moment, their story is just they're moving in. He's on an airbase and he's been attacked on the army base. Um, for what seems to be, we want to know about
The plane.
the new plane you're getting. Now, when you look out the window originally, the first shot you get out the window of it being dark, I was like, ooh, is that
Yeah.
Pennywise there? And then you
That's
get a
what I thought.
second, and then you get a second look, and it's not. But I was like, it still could be. We don't know
How
because they,
how good was that first scene though, where it's just nearly like the eyes in the dark?
yeah, like they've made out this thing that something goes on in that military base. Do you know what I mean? That it's not just a military base. Like this is something different. That's alluded to by the kids quite a lot, but we don't
Mm.
know. Like that hasn't been brought in. Like it probably will be at some
Yeah,
point.
you also kind of get that, when they're driving on in the car, and he's like, "What goes on there?" Testing.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's just kind of, we know something's going to happen with that. But at the moment, the story is just he's a decorated officer that was attacked for military information. So it kind of has its own story. And then his kid's obviously going to come into it. And I'd say
Yeah.
he will be the lead or one of the leads going forward once
So
he comes in.
going by the original, even sorry, even it chapter one. Um, so his name obviously is Hanlon, and Mike is one of the loser club.
Mm,
And Mike, I think he tells the story that it's his granddad that was the airplane or air
yeah.
pilot, or his dad, one or the other. No, his dad's the butcher. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. So that's his granddad.
Think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's the story they're going. So I was sitting there and I was looking at him, and it wasn't until I seen his name, because I thought they said his name. Joe, when they say Officer Hannon, I was like, all right, okay, that's just a thing. And then I seen Hanlon, I was like, oh, okay, that's a good way of tying that in.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, how much does it tie in? Because if Mike's da, if this is his granddad, then Mike's da. is going to be the kid in this. So if
Yeah, so
he's
this
got,
is what, 27 years, so plenty of time to have a kid.
plenty of time to have a kid, but if you had to deal with this when you moved into the town, when you
Yeah,
got older and your kid is like, oh, there's all these weird things happening, you're not going to brush it off. You're going to be like, right, I remember this because when I was a kid,
but
like this fucked up thing
that was the
happened.
thing, though, wasn't it? They all seem to forget or turn a blind eye to it. That was
Yeah,
alluded
so
to in all of the films.
yeah, except for the Losers Club who didn't turn a blind eye because they remembered it when they came back 27 years later. Do you know what I mean? So uh, it's an interesting one. It'll be strange to see what way they play it, but there's a lot that we know there's going to be something there. But at the moment, there's kind of two stories. There's the kid's story, which very much has kind of come to an end, bar two of them, and then whatever's happening with this, like this military airbase thing. And it doesn't seem like the military thing is, oh, this is like that they created it.
So that was going to be my next thing. My next question for you would have been, what do you think's in there?
That's the thing. What is in there? Because they, unless we're going to go with the story of they have either created the entity or that they'd somehow captured the entity, what the hell are they going to have in there?
So my theory is that they captured it. So I'd say you'll see him get captured at the end of season two, whenever that comes out, right? And that builds to that point. So it runs in a. So you'd watch season three, two, one, and then the movies, right?
Yeah, but
Which is
then,
a bit of a silly way to go,
but if they have it
but
captured,
I would say
how does the whole thing in the car happen? Because it means that it has to have escaped by that point already.
that's true. Actually, yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm
interesting.
kind of like, where are they going to go with this? Or is the military base literally just going to be a military base, and this is a complete just like, oh, you thought something was going to happen here, and it's not. Like this is just going to be a military base, and the developments that are going on there in there are just Air Force developments. Like that's
Maybe,
it.
yeah. It's tough. Like I know we don't have to wait too long, and like at the time of recording, it's due tomorrow. Um,
Well, only the second episode is we're not going to get a whole lot out of that either.
no, but it should shed. I think it'll shed a bit more light. Um, and obviously, as you said, the military base has a lot to do with it. It's the well that's in there, one entrance to the well from the house on Newball Street, maybe.
Mm. It could be like there's a lot of things they could do with this, and like they obviously already have done it because it's all filmed and everything. But I don't know. There's a lot of stories that they could go with, which is why I'm kind of interested in it because it's not just going to, even though it is about the entity, it's not just going to be a complete rehash. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be something different here, I feel, or at least I'm hoping that there will. I'm hoping it's not just going to be a complete rehash of the original story, but just with different kids' names. It feels like it's going to be a bit different based on this. Like we
Yeah.
had, we've had three male people that you were like, oh, this one's going to be the lead, or these two are going to be the lead, and they're both dead. Like all three of them are gone, and then we have the little girl who's the sister, I assume. They don't really say who she is, but I'm assuming she's his
Yeah, she's
sister.
she's the smaller one of the two, sister.
That's what I say. Well, no, I don't think it is. I think it's the taller ones because the shorter one had a brother. They sat down and had dinner, and it's just him and the brother and the mum and dad.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, the taller one, yeah.
So I think it's the taller guy's sister, but they don't actually say it's his sister. Like he could just be babysitting, which I suppose technically could have been something
She,
that happened back in the
she,
60s.
she's brown bread now as well.
Yeah, she's definitely dead as well. And that's the thing. This weird baby thing has come out of the screen. It was in the car, so it's not
How
necessarily
cool
their.
does that look though?
No, it looks great, but it's not necessarily their fear. Do you know what I mean? Which is
No,
what.
this is something that's just, yeah, this is like a possession thing.
So this is a bit different because it's not just this is your fear. This is an actual thing that's attacking you, whereas it has always been what you're afraid of, which we kind of got a glimpse of with the lamp.
Oh, the skin, the human skin, because obviously they were talking about the
The dad
concentration
saying,
camps.
yeah, the dad saying it to him. Now, is that just meant to have been a nightmare? Or what's the story? I don't think so, because we've gotten the reference of um the fingers coming out of the drain, and then the other girl was like, "Oh, I heard the song as well,"
In the drain, yeah.
and she heard it as well. So it's like, right, there obviously is something to do with the entity there, but what's this weird baby thing? And that this, as you were saying, maybe they've captured the entity, and that's what's in the base, and this is how it escaped. Do you know what I mean? We don't
Interesting, yeah.
we don't know, because like that family seemed quite normal.
And then it changed as soon as they got into Derry.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, were they just a normal family and they were just completely taken over? Because otherwise, are they just a manifestation? Do you know what I mean? Because that's what the entity doesn't actually, like, he can't create himself to be a vehicle and four other beings
Yeah.
at once. So they're either a manifestation, but that can't be the,
Tormentia, yeah.
yeah, which it can't be, because he was able to get in the car and it did drive, unless it's all meant to be in his head. But then this baby thing attacked him, and it's now attacked technically four other people.
Or
Yeah, four others. One girl survived, and the other girl was up in the where she was shown the film, which looks like the film got destroyed, so they're not going to be able to play it again.
the music man, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it looks like that's been destroyed, because you can see on the screen it's gone all like burned.
Yeah,
Um,
that's when the creature came out, though, wasn't it? That's what I was saying. It
yeah,
looked really cool. It just kind of burned its way out.
yeah. So I think that tape is like that reel is going to be gone, and they're going to be like, try to show it to the police, and the police will be like, "This is a burnt reel. What the hell were you doing in here?"
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
so
it's going
it
to be a strange
is.
one. Like, I'm looking forward to the second one to see what they do.
Yeah, and it's one of these ones that's going to be a weekly drop as well. So every week you're going to
Yeah,
have to wait
pain
and
in
be
the
like, "Oh, I
fucking
wonder."
hole.
It is and it isn't, but I suppose like this is something we've kind of gotten used to over the years, where we're just like, "Oh, the series is out," and you just sit down and you watch through the whole series. And there was you don't get that anymore, where, and it's starting to come back a little bit now, where people used to watch something and then speculate. Like Game of Thrones was huge for this,
Yeah,
where you were like, right, what the hell's going to happen next week? And not just because, oh, who are they going to kill, but you were trying to piece the story together in your head as you went, going, right, well, this could happen, which is basically what we're doing here. So it will be kind of interesting to have that going along as well. We don't get that all that much now.
yeah. The other one thing I don't like about that, right? And it's all great, and it is a great way to do it. Going back to old school ways of having to wait to watch the next one,
Yeah.
right? But when we done that in the 90s and the early 2000s, there was no social media, and you don't get Larry Joe fucking soap going, oh, X died in the first part of this episode. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you
Yeah.
risk staying off social media for a week if you wanted to watch back to back episodes, right?
Well, see, that's
Or
what I think. Why would you wait? Like, if you're not going to wait to just watch one set of back to backs, you're either waiting for the entire thing to drop,
yeah,
and in which case, yeah, then you have to just
you're 8 weeks
accept that
in, you're probably getting spoilers.
yeah, you're going to get something, because whether you actually get spoilers, which you don't really get as much now, you tend to get more memes and stuff now, rather than straight up, this is what happened. That I haven't seen that much anymore recently. Whereas like 5, 10 years ago, yeah, or when Game of Thrones was out, if you hadn't watched the episode, you needed to stay off because somebody
If
would
you
post
hadn't
it.
watched the episode by fucking 8 o'clock in the morning, it was fucking.
Yeah, so it was
That's,
kind of
I know. I remember you used to get up before going to work, didn't you?
when episodes got leaked, yeah, I'd get up and
Yeah,
watch them. When they were like, we're gonna leak, the episode's gonna be leaked, I was like, right, I better get up today and watch it, because
yeah,
just in case I see something I don't want to know. But I don't think that's as much of a problem now. And if you're gonna wait for an entire series to drop, you're probably waiting 8 to 9 weeks. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And at which
And
point it's like, well, sorry, dude, like the show came out. Like if you, when we were kids and you were watching something, so Lost was probably one of the big ones at the time. If you didn't watch that week's episode of Lost, you couldn't go into school and be like, can nobody talk to me about Lost for 9 weeks because I want to watch all of it back to back. It was like, well, you missed the episode, dude. So you either just stay out of this conversation this week and you play catch up. But if you're gonna do that for 9 weeks, that like that's up to you. You have to just stay, like we're not gonna. we're not going to not talk about something for 9 weeks.
Also a lot harder to go back and watch it.
Yeah, it was. So to me, it's kind of if you miss one episode, just stay off until you've watched it the following day. Or if you're going to plan to just not watch it until all the episodes are out, then you just have to accept, okay, I'm probably going to get some spoilers here. Um, but even the spoilers tend to be more, I can't believe
Yeah,
what happened in the first episode. And you're just like, okay, well, something big's going to happen then.
yeah. Right, before we finish up then, right? Throw me your idea of what you think will happen in episode 2. Or what you're hoping to see in episode 2.
So episode 2, I think we'll still kind of be in the building. I think the family are going to have moved in for I don't know what rank he is, but near my Hanlon, I think his family will
He's a
move in.
sergeant, isn't he?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he's relatively high enough up, so I think he'll move. His family will move in. Um, but he'll have his own problems on the base because they're going to be investigating how there was a break in on the this top level security base. So that'll be a good bit. So I think his family will move in, but it'll be at the end. So the like ending credit will be his family moving into
All
the
right.
house. I think the two girls are going to be down in the police station, or they the one of them might end up back in the kind of the mental institution or whatever. We obviously know that
Juniper Hills, isn't it? Is that what it's called? Or is that Terminator?
I can't
No
remember
idea.
what they
I think
called
that's
it.
Terminator.
Um, but um, I think your one that's playing Lily could end up back in the mental institution, and then the other girl, Veronica, her dad was the one that was in kind of trouble. She was like, oh, the police kept coming to ask him about
Yeah.
what
Her dad
happened.
owns the cinema.
I don't think he owns it. I think he works
But,
there. I don't think he owns it.
oh well, sorry. Well, maybe yeah. I took it as he owned it because he told your man to leave him alone. Do you know that kind of way?
Yeah, and then your man was kind of spoke back to him. If the owner says stop hassling that kid, you're going to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
true.
know,
Yeah.
I
I
I
suppose
think he.
he's the film projectionist anyway.
I think you also have to remember that this is set in the 60s and he's a black guy. It's very unlikely he's owning a
Yeah, true. Yeah.
cinema. Did I mean like that's just the way things were in the 60s. So I'd say he's the cleaner there. I think he'll be in trouble again because this will be another thing that his daughter found the she was involved in something dodgy that happened, and they're going to link it back to him. And she's already said that they tried to pin it on him, the original boy going missing on him.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that's part what we get. I don't think we'll get a whole lot. I think they'll go into that cinema, they'll find the destroyed, like the kids' bodies, like all mutilated and shit. But that weird baby thing won't be there. Um,
Very. It was a very American Werewolf in London kind of set up that end scene, wasn't it? In the
yeah,
cinema being ripped apart.
yeah. So I think you'll find the kids kind of corpses. I don't know that they'll show that, but that's what we'll be told that they find. But there won't be that weird baby thing. The film reel will be destroyed, so they won't be able to watch it back to see is like we saw him in it, and they'll just be like, no, you destroyed that reel, whatever you did, and the two of them will be kind of trying to tell the police this is what happened, as the police are like, that's clearly a lie. Like, what the hell did you do? You know, I think that's where we're going to go. I don't think we're going to get a whole lot in episode 2, but at the same time, the way episode 1 went, like anything could, like they could just kill both of them off and that'd be the end of it.
$1 million questioning. Do we finally get Bill in this episode?
No, I don't think we'll get Bill until I don't know how
I
many
think I
episodes there
think I
is,
think you get
but
him right at the end.
I don't think so. I think if you're, I don't know how many episodes there is in the series. If you say there's 10, I think you get Bill in about episode 6 is your first look at him, first proper look. You might get what we both said. What's that? Is that
In the
it in the
window.
background? you might get something like that, but I don't think you get to see him until episode 6 or 7.
Okay, well, you'll have to check back in next week and see how we get on.
Yeah.
I overall, as a first episode, batshit crazy.
It's enough to keep you interested, but it's not enough if you weren't kind of interested in watching it in the first place. It's not necessarily going to hook you in, I don't think. Although Zoe
it wasn't. Yeah, it
hooked
wasn't.
Zoe
It
in,
wasn't a
so
hook. Yeah.
yeah,
I enjoyed it.
yeah. I thought the acting was good. I think the kind of the setup's been good. It's going to be a bit of a slow burn, which is what happens with a TV series. I think people kind of forget that you're going to have filler episodes as well.
Yeah.
Because you can't have something happen the whole time. It's not like a film where you can just cut out a lot of stuff. You have an hour a week to be filling in for, even 10 episodes is 10 hours. There's going to be some stuff where it's just, we could have done without that. And it's like, yeah, but
Thrown
this
in
is
for the
about
sake of it.
building. Yeah, like, seeing them up at the top of that building that they sneak into and stuff. Could you cut that out? Yeah, you probably could. Like, didn't really add much to the story one way or the other. But it starts building the characters. You know what I mean? Lets you know a little bit more about them. So you're gonna have things like that in a series.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow now. Be a great way to finish off Halloween. I'll take the kids out trick or treating, come back, put them to bed, take my dad tax worth of sweets.
Yeah, just keep eating them until you feel sick, and then go, no, you must have eaten them yesterday.
Well, I've also had both of them get sick today, so it's
Mm.
enough sick as it is. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to episode 2. As an overall episode, what would you give it out of 5? I know
Probably
there's not
3.
much. I know there's not much to base it on, but if you were
Probably
going
3.
into this show blind,
Probably a 3, I'd say. Like,
yeah,
it was better than just average, but that could be because I was kind of interested in it already.
yeah.
I wouldn't say it was an amazing first episode, but there was nothing wrong with it either. So like I think 3 is probably fair. Like
I was lying in 2.5 myself. I wouldn't go any lower than that. It was right in the middle of the road for me. I'm very intrigued as to what's in the base. I think before we finish up, I think the 3 lads that attacked Hanlon are in the army with him.
oh yeah,
right? And it's a setup to see if he'll break, because then they'll show him what's inside the R&D department.
it could be that, or it could be the racist guy on the base just trying to get him to give up a secret so that he can be like, see, this guy gave up a secret and get him fired.
Yeah, it could be, but that's my theory on it. And hopefully, I'll figure some more out tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But you'll have to tune back in next Friday for part 2. And that's all you're going to get for the next couple of weeks. Is we're going to hit this out as it goes along.
Yeah.
So deal with it. Make sure and watch the episode before you watch this, because there will be spoilers.
Yeah, we'll try to keep them to a minimum, but like it's very hard to talk about the episode if you're not going to talk about what happened in the episode. So
Absolutely. What I'll do is, just with it being Halloween and all that, I'll give you a recommendation of a movie to watch. Have you watched any good horrors lately, Ted?
It's been Halloween, so I've kind of just been rewatching some of the kind of old classics, really. I don't think I really watched anything new the last while.
I've watched a fair few.
Yeah, I think I've just hit out kind of the general sort of Halloween ones. You know what I mean?
The classics. It's
Yeah, just
fair. Classics work. They're effective.
yeah, they're
I'll
just
give
kind
you.
of I can put them on.
I'll give you one to watch. Coyotes. Justin
Okay,
Long, Kate Bosworth. Watched it yesterday, and it was, as an animal attack movie goes, it was fucking awesome.
I'll have to check that out.
Awesome.
So,
And it's got Justin Long in it, so you can't go wrong.
well, he's definitely dying.
So you know that old scene where it's like he's just not going to be okay.
Yeah, I already know he's not surviving. That's okay.
Yeah. But yeah, there's your pick for the week for Halloween. Get on it, watch it, get episode 2 watched. Come back next Friday and check it out. But what I'll do is I'll finish this the way we finish every single Friday night, Halloween or not. In the words of the great George A. Romero, ladies and gentlemen, stay scared.
Look.